Hi guys, FrostFangs here, back with another Paladins video. I'm going to be playing some PIP today with this updated Mega Potion. He got the whole Remedy Surgery Curative thing added to his kit alongside Grover, Grok, and Furia. Talked about it quite a bit in other videos. I don't really like what they've done with Remedy Surgery Curative. I like the idea, but it just makes things more confusing, especially for people who don't play the game a crazy amount. It just makes the talents kind of bloated, and they should have just buffed the talents in my opinion, instead of doing this weird percentage thing to a few of the characters. Maybe after they tweak it and change the implementation a bit, it'll be better, but right now I like the sort of thing of pushing the archetype of hybrid damage and healer, but just the way it's done is jank and kind of unnecessary. Anyway, we're going to be playing with Mega Potion today, which should get a bit of a buff as well, aside from the Remedy Surgery Curative thing of just giving a 200 stackable shield whenever you hit somebody with it. I don't know if that applies to Pip as well, comboed with his base weapon being nerfed a bit to make up for the whole, Surgery Remedy Curative implementation. Healer Pip is in a bit of a better spot, and specifically Mega Potion, which I'm glad to say because it was definitely the worst out of the three. That's it for the intro. The build is the same as been for ages. Let's just jump straight into game one. The partial addition of this system to the different healers just feels a little bit weird to me because we already have talents. It's kind of just being added on to talents. We already have builds, and it just plays into the talents, pushing the archetype in a way that they could do by just modifying the talents instead of adding like another keyword to them, especially when you consider that they modified most of the characters' base kits to make up for this addition. So I really would love to hear from you guys on this down in the comments. We're going to go for Mega Potion, and then I guess the hit reset, although they don't have a tank, so I'm going to play for the safer sort of setup here. I haven't really practiced this though, so I'm expecting to be a little bit rusty here with Pip. Throw a Q all the way over there for Betty. That did actually land. Do we push on this Charlene, who I think is just here? Strix is actually almost out. Nope, that didn't work. There's a Q. I guess the shield does apply on us. Don't know how long the shield actually lasts, by the way. That isn't mentioned anyway. We'll throw that over there. There we go. Get a little bit of reset. We'll help out Torvald in a sec. Probably be able to get rid of the Charlene because you still output quite a bit with this. Gotta say Mega Potion Pip is definitely better than it was before, although it's still Mega Potion, so I don't know if it really has enough space to be as good as the other two, because the other two much more so change the way you play Pip. This way you're still kind of playing him like a hybrid, but you just have a bit of a heavier potion, and you usually include the potion reset even in the setup if you're not focusing on it that much, at least if you're not going for like a catalyst thing. But there goes Charlene. I'm happy to see the buffs though, because I think Mega Potion Pip is kind of a cool spot for him to be with like a Giga Burst healer, because we don't have too many of those, and Pip can just hit you with like a 2k, and if you time it right, you're going to pretty much put them back up to full. That's back going fully up. There's a Q. That self shield honestly makes this much better because it sort of gives you a bit of benefit even if you are like fully cauterized. There goes the Furia. It feels so weird playing Pip though, just because it's POV. I feel like most of the characters I play aren't like super low to the ground, so playing Pip for me, who feels like he's one of the lowest, just is kind of strange. There's a big Q. I'm also getting like mad frame rate problems right now for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but I'm doing my job here though on Mega Potion. Until late game your heals are just insane, and even if you are like fully cauterized up, it's still kind of like 400 or 500 now with the shield on it, so it's definitely better. That 200 shield makes a really big difference. Fury I'm pretty sure isn't here, but the 5% damage on it isn't doing anything because they reduced his damage by 5% on the base kit, but the 10% extra healing is actually just an extra 10% that you didn't have before when you go for the talent, so that's kind of nice to see. But they could have also just made the percentage different without the addition of like the keywords, which is what I was talking about at the start. Gotta say Mega Potion Pip at the moment feels pretty good to play. I'm also landing most of my shots, but I think the messier the game, the harder it is to do well with this, because if people aren't dodging out of cauterize, it feels like you're not really healing at all, and you kind of have to time the reset. And just generally we'll have to pay more attention, I feel like, than with most other versions of Pip. The other one is just blast for heal and blast for damage. Definitely helps if people are grouped with this as well, or else your healing output, if people are really split up, it feels really low. Even with Max Chronos though, the downtime on that potion is kind of hefty. Tabbed out, tabbed back in, that fixed the lag for whatever reason. Doesn't usually do anything, but this time around it feels a hell of a lot smoother right now. We'll jump in on the Dredge. Yeah, I can actually play now. I don't know what was going on at the start of this game. It was super jank, but right now, after just like messing around for like a couple minutes while everyone was just sitting on the objective for free, I seem to fix it. Definitely better with the weapon here on Pip than the potion, just because I usually play him as a damage. I don't usually go for Pip if I want to play like a healer, because he is a very specific type of healer. But with this potion set up now, if we hit one person, we get near the full reset, and it is kind of, busted if you actually have a team that's playing around you having Mega Potion. I feel like I've heard somebody suggest like putting a bit of a shield on Pip's Mega Potion, because it combos with the name Mega Potion. Now you have a bit of a shield on it, and it just makes it feel a lot better because you're always getting at least a little bit of value. And also if someone runs into a fight right after you put it on them, you're going to get a little bit of shielding. I don't think it'll add up to be a crazy amount over a game, but I guess we'll see. It is 200 every time we throw it out. It being stackable too also makes a really big difference. I'm glad they actually put that in the description, because I would have had to check it. Q there on the Mave, but technically that means Guardians should be enabled, because you can actually create a shield now on Pip. That is a crazy blind, just aiming in the general direction of where I was taking that damage, and that worked. Hello back, I'm dead. There's a Q, never mind. I'm just about still up here. Okay, took a little second. Not that you would buy Guardian anyway, obviously, with this setup, but definitely should be a top utmost priority to fix that Guardian. Can't be bought on PIP because that is just unbelievable. I can't believe they'd do that. Victory. Game 1, by the way, over. I'll show you the stats. Let's see how much shielding we had. That's the most interesting. 15k is way above what I thought we would have there. Shoutouts, by the way, to our Maeve. I must have not seen that, but 16k, 38k healing is actually really solid considering it's only giving a 2/400 shield. Considering we had a Torvald there, that's pretty damn good. I'm actually quite surprised by that. We'll re-queue and do one more. So we've got the same thing here again for game 2, King of the Hill Snowfall. We've got a Relax, we've got a Ram, a Maeve, and a Sky. We're up against an Eevee, Genos, Willow, Fernando, and Grover. It's actually hard for me to call out the names because I usually just go off the card art, but now they changed it. So yeah, we'll use the other version of the build a bit. We've got Cat Burglar, Subservience, Debilitate, Heroism, Scorn, Power Cousin is going to be kind of annoying, Aegis, Snowglobe, and Ferocity. Definitely going to go for Resilience here to stop, and then we'll get some Chronos because they have a lot of CC. I'm going to try and play around the Ram. We should hopefully get more shielding this time around. I really didn't think we'd have added up to like 15k in that last one, but obviously it is just straight damage you're stopping because it lasts for quite a while. I thought it would be a really short shield. If you're shielding one person, it actually feels like you can have it on them pretty much the entire time, especially if they're grouped, it means more than one. But yeah, 2/400 shield is pretty hefty. I don't know where that music is coming from. I think it's the weapon. It's actually really throwing me off, especially if you go for this build that gives you reset when you land your shots. This is actually like pretty much a permanent shield you're able to throw out on people, which makes Mega Potion significantly better. Also kind of goes without saying, but mid-air and accuracy being removed from Pip is massive. Definitely one of the characters that was more annoyed by it, and now it's just gone. Makes a huge difference, especially when you're jumping around or when you're being grabbed or knocked or anything like that. Going for Mega Potion and the setup that gives you the reset on the potion, it's just like crazy if you're landing them all the time. There's a big heal on the Sky. We have the ult, we just go for it. I probably shouldn't have done that right after the Ram ulted, but I guess that worked better. Yeah, sure, I'm just going to give myself credit there. That was not too bad. I guess this also counters Willow, like Dead Zone, a little bit because we're going to be shielding as well as just a heal, so I can actually do something at least instead of just waiting for it to wear off. It feels nice being able to actually effectively play Mega Potion. I really jumped into that, but somehow that didn't tick me and it killed everybody else. I'm dead here, by the way. I don't think there's anything I could possibly do. There's a self-heal. I was just trying to right-click there. That wouldn't have done anything anyway there. Yeah, we're going. That's a team wide. Well done, Genos. That man set that up really well. Don't know if it's a little bit excessive, but I genuinely feel like Mega Potion Pip right now is one of the better options for him. At least one of the more different ones, because we've had the same sort of archetypes for a while where Mega Potion never really worked, but it felt kind of close to being successful. Right now, Mega Potion feels like a setup that actually works on Pip. Definitely like this quite a bit. I'm really happy that I'm actually able to play Mega Potion Pip, especially with the reset, the mid-air and accuracy. He just feels so much better than he did before. The mid-air and accuracy is making a huge difference. You'll probably notice it more on the other setups, but even here, sort of playing with a healer-focused reset thing, I am noticing that my potion and just everything feels better. I think the potion also has mid-air and accuracy removed because that used to have it as well, right? Is that another reason why this feels better? I remember the potion being kind of messed up before. I feel like I'm healing a little bit less here. I say as I hit him with a 2.2k, but that's just because I had to go for resilience instead of chrono, so that potion downtime has been a little bit like more annoying than usual. There's some big hits. There's another Q, that Dead Zone. We are getting kind of shredded in this one, but I think the happy music in the background is making it feel a lot less bad. I think there's a proper sentence again, but you get what I mean. There's a big Q. We'll go for the ult. That should be at least a 3-man, right? It's another Q so we can push in. I think they have got a bit of resilience. That was an ult from the Ram. That's an ult from the Grover and also the Fernando. Shots on him here. There's a Q. It's an F. The fact that it gives you self-shield too also makes a really big difference. Just the mid-air and accuracy being removed alone is such a big change to Pip, but all of this together has made him feel like a much more effective character, which I like to see. Those hits on the Genos, that slow is probably kind of helping him out here. Resilience coming through clutch as another Q. Ram should be playing the objective a little bit more. That's what I'd like to see here. They're really grouped on him though. I think he's dead here any second. We could throw a long-range Q for him. I feel like he's getting battered by like 5 of them and just sort of face-tanked it. What a Chad. I don't know really what to do here. We'll just jump around to try and play the point. It's pretty much over. Seems like from the score at least, but you never know. Finally running back through. There's a Q for him. He only lost 400 health during that entire fight somehow. Also, Grover's back here. I don't know how that happened. There's a Q. I think this music loop is driving me a little bit insane. I feel like I'm lacking getting the Q up here, to be honest, even though we've got it pretty much maxed right now with the full Chronos. It just feels like I'm not throwing it out as much as I'd like to, probably because the last game was a little bit free compared to this one. Q over there. Hello, Willow. That worked. I just queued myself in a dead zone and somehow I didn't get dead zoned. Okay, don't know what happened there. I'm assuming that's a bug, unless Pip is broken right now and you can heal through like dead zones. I'm pretty sure she just died like right as she threw it out and that kind of glitched it, I'm assuming. Yeah, it definitely didn't heal there. Okay, so it was just like a really weird like specific bug. We'll throw the ult as soon as that's over. Okay, I hit 2 of them before it was over because they rushed me. Sit on the point a bit. Honestly, has not felt like a game where we've been doubled. I feel like we've actually been playing quite well. Don't need to use another Q just yet. We'll throw it just there for that shielding as well. It'd be kind of cool if the card also transferred like a percentage of the shielding and not just the healing if you went for the talent, but don't know why I'm complaining. He feels so much better to play after all these changes. Pip right now is turning into a character that is actually sort of viable with like 3 playstyles, which is a nice to see. Drop another Q over there, some really big heals and shielding. I wonder how much we're going to end up with in this one. Probably around 20k would be my guess. I'm just waiting for that Q to come off off. I wish there was another way to reset it other than just hitting people. That's already more than enough, to be honest, as long as I'm actually outputting. I feel like I do have enough reset. It's kind of hard sometimes when I'm waiting around trying to throw a heal and I've got like a 5-second potion on the cooldown on it. I'm dead here. There's a Q. Never mind. Got a fully uncourted heal. There's one for the Lex. Definitely is over, but we recovered at least like 100 of it towards the end. I think they're just trying to end the game here. We'll throw one for the Lex. That's definitely the downside to the Mega Potion setup, and really any burst healing setup is at late game. You're not really doing that much. You're throwing out your little burst every now and again, and if they're cauterized, you're doing pretty much nothing, like a 400 or 500, maybe times 2 with the setup sort of heal, whereas the other characters who are consistently healing, or if you go for Combat Medic, you're doing a lot more, because obviously you can get the healing in between being cauterized. It's a little bit easier, especially when you're not coordinated. I feel like if you're with a team that knows exactly what they're doing and you're like a pre-made, playing Mega Potion Pip, especially in the more trial matches, can actually be better, but even then mistakes happen, and then throwing that Q instead of getting 2k, getting like 200 feels rough. I'm sure you get what I mean if you've been playing for a while, and I've also probably explained that before, but 5-2-13, 120 seconds there on the point, 50k damage is actually fine there. We were beating out the Sky and also nearly the Mave. 26k shielding is way better than I was expecting to get with this, and 41k heals. And yeah, that is pretty much it, other than one thing. I wanted to mention this at the start, but I forgot. Combat Medic surprisingly got Curative, even though it is the one that you end up healing more with, and you focus your healing more because you're using your weapon shots for healing. Mega Potion is the one where you're only just buffing the potion, you're still playing him kind of like a hybrid. Yeah, I'm surprised they put the hybrid one on this instead of Combat Medic, and I feel like that kind of shows two things. One, their understanding for Pip that Combat Medic is actually the one that is really healer focused. Catalyst is obviously damage, and Mega Potion ends up being the hybrid, even though you think it would be the healing one or playstyle. You get what I mean. The second thing that it shows, and I feel like I've said these words so many times in this video, that Surgery, Curative, and Remedy are inherently a little bit flawed because most characters don't have very like hyper-defined hybrid damage and healing playstyles. Most of them kind of mix them a bit, and that to me is why it feels a little bit weird only applying it to some of the supports, because I feel like they should do it to all of them or none of them, because right now it works really well for Pip because those three talents are hybrid damage and healing. For others it isn't as, distinctive, and it's a little bit harder to apply, which is why I guess I only did it to 4 of them. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Of course, let me know what you want to see me next. I'll see you guys all very, very soon. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on these changes. And as always, stay frosty.